Episode 4 of The Acolyte ended on a massive cliffhanger, and the question that everyone's been asking since then is,
who's the master?
What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. If you want the deepest discussions on Star Wars found on YouTube, hey man, then you're in the right place. We ain't got no clickbait, no rage bait, no pseudo-intellectual alcoholics, definitely no Disney shills found around here. The only thing we've got is the deepest discussions on Star Wars that are for a more sophisticated Star Wars fan. But anyway, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Let's jump to our discussion on episode 4. The thing that everybody's been talking about, the Master. We ended on this massive cliffhanger where we saw the Master. There's a lot of mystery around this person, right? What's their identity? Who are they? What are their intentions, right? The thing that we saw was May set a trap for this guy Qimir, this like smuggler supplier dude who always seems to have the answers. He's always got this information, and it's like, how does he always have what she needs? How does he always know what she needs to know? How does he always have an out? Are they always traveling together? And so it's like May starts pressing Qimir for information on the Master, and he's just kind of ducking and dodging and weaving, almost doing the Ali shuffle when she's asking questions, and it starts to make him look suspicious. There's this possibility that Qimir is the Master, right? And people are like, yo, it can't be him. That would be a huge letdown because it's so obvious that it's too obvious, and that means it can't be him. So far, the idea of the Master being Qimir is that the Master's hidden in plain sight. Right now, it's just interesting that we saw, you know, that Qimir is the only person that knows how to navigate the forests of Kofar to get to Kelnaka, right? He's the guide, and it's like, well, the Master's somewhere, and it's like he need a guide to get here. And when May leaves Qimir hanging, literally, she's like, well, the Master needs somebody, he needs a guide to know how to get here to come and find me. And then it's like, oh, he's here. The other cool thing about the appearance of the Master, this episode is called Day, right? And so the whole idea is that they need to get to Kelnaka before day is up, right? Because they think that a worse predator could come at night. May and Qimir are trying to reach Kelnaka, while there's still daylight. The Jedi are trying to get there while there's still daylight. Well, they get there and night comes, and an even worse predator appears, the Master. I thought that was kind of cool. Let's talk about Osha and May. We're going to come back to the Master, so, you guys hang on. I know that's what some people really, really, really want to talk about, but I got other themes and other characters that we got to talk about, right? All right, so Osha and May's respective journeys. Osha is dealing with facing the past. She's dealing with facing May. She's holding on to some anger and some things, and she has this the one touching moment with Yord, because I really don't like Yord, but he says, yo man, we've been friends since you were a Padawan, since we were younglings, right? When you first came here, pretty much, and your wound has always been May, right? Makes me think of Rey is a wound in the Force, right? Her weak spot, her weakness has always been May, and she's like, yo, Osha, though, she goes to Yord like, yo, man, I froze the last time I confronted my sister. If it comes down to it, you got to put her down, right? So she's not even looking at reconciliation. She's kind of on like this Kylo Ren thing from The Last Jedi, where it's like, yo, man, kill the past, let it die, right? Is she can't let go of the past. And so she's like, I got to cut it off. Right? Yeah, I got to cut everything off. I got to cut May off, my life on Brendok, my childhood. I got to cut the Jedi off. And it's interesting because as they're traveling, they're doing a lot of walking. Osha seems to be reconnecting with the Force, which, there's this ongoing thing now where people cut themselves off from the Force. The other interesting thing is I noticed this connection between Osha and Jeki. And Jeki has this really, nice thing that she says to Osha, when Osha, oh, woe is me, and a true Jedi is able to handle death, but I can't let go, and I feel like everybody cheated me, and the world is against me, and the galaxy, and woe is me. And Jackie's kind of like, yo, man, we're defined by, what we get through, or something along those lines, right? It's kind of like the Rocky thing, right? Life keeps throwing you punches, but you get back up. And it was touching, but then it looks like there's this budding romance between Jackie and Osha on Jackie's part. Just the way I read it, I didn't feel like Osha was like, I thought it was kind of like, yo, man, Master Soul is your master. You're his new Padawan. I was Master Soul's Padawan. He's kind of like our Jedi daddy that makes us like Jedi sisters or whatever. Let's hang out and chill and, have some laughs and some drinks or whatever. I'll just say that I see Osha's side as platonic, and Jackie is like kind of liking her. So it might be an unrequited love, but I don't know. Now the reason that I bring this up is it kind of being important is it looked like I saw from one of the trailers that May had Jackie held at knife point, and I think that's going to kind of be her way to escape this confrontation that the Jedi are having with the Master, is that May might have to do her little force push the dust thing and to get away, and she might have to, put the knife, one of her throwing knives, to Jackie's throat to get the Jedi to, drop their weapons or whatever and allow her to escape. And I'm wondering how that's going to affect her relationship with Osha, is the fact that if May comes anywhere close to putting Jackie in harm, and that's like Osha's friend, maybe her boo thing, how's that going to play out between her and her sister and their relationship that's broken, and May seems to want to mend it, right? And since I'm talking about May, let's get to May's journey now, right? Because May has the more interesting journey, really. I mean, we know Osha, there was the fire, Master Soul took Osha, she went and trained as a Jedi, and then she left because, in part because of Endara. Master Endara was like, yo, man, I think we need to stop training her. Now, why that is, that's a question that I don't think I brought that up in previous videos, right? But we need to think about that. Why did Endara not want Osha to be trained anymore? Was it just something she saw, or what is it? May appears to want to mend the relationship, right? That's she turns and burns Qimir, leaves him hanging. It was like, I don't need you. Oshi being alive changes everything, right? So how did the fire affect May, right? We know that it set her on this path of seeking vengeance, we think, right? But how did it really impact her? What has her life been like since then? We don't know, right? The separation from Osha, apparently, she doesn't hold any hard feelings or not holding a grudge. She's instantly ready to mend that relationship. But I mean, that was May before as children. She didn't want to be separated from her sister. She's like, everything I need is here, right? And mostly she's talking about her sister, right? Osha, you're here, I'm here, this is all I need, I'm good, right? I don't want to travel the galaxy. I don't want to, become a Jedi. Being a witch is fine if I'm here with you and I got my family and I'm good, I'm content, right? But that's taken away, and that what path does that set her on? What it does is it opens her up to manipulation and coercion. She's being manipulated by Qimir. She's being manipulated by the Master. That'd be more interesting if Qimir and the Master are one and the same, right? But Qimir seems to know everything. How did she find the Jedi that were stationed on Brendok, 16 years later? How did she find? how is she getting around? How is she traveling? See, when people talk about the show, they're not like talking about what we're not seeing. They're not asking the questions about the things we're not being shown. How did she accomplish all of this? And why does it appear that Qimir is always there, right? So if she goes to see the master, like we saw at the end of the first episode, how did she get to see the master? What planet was she on? The same planet where she killed Indara? I think it started with an E. I don't have it on these pages of notes in front on my screen over here. But like, if Qimir is always traveling with her and Qimir seems to know all about the master, what's he not telling her, right? So like I said, the master is manipulating her. Qimir is manipulating her, right? And there she's being exploited, right? So that's a theme that we need to, how she's constantly being manipulated. Who comes next? What's next? May is being manipulated, right? And maybe Osha is too, right? I think they both are, but Osha doesn't know. Well, neither one of them know it, right? Now there's the shift in allegiance. So May's kind of being set up for this redemption arc, but I don't think it's going to happen for her, right? I just don't. I think she's going to be one of those people like George Lucas said, you know, the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker is when a good person starts to do bad things and they become the ultimate evil, right? Is this person has good intentions, but it leads them down a dark path. In a way, I kind of feel like it's like May wasn't really given a choice, and it's like survival for her. And then when she gets the truth, I feel like she's going to be kind of a scapegoat, right? Because, you know, well, I mean, she still killed whatever, regardless of what happens, she still killed 2 Jedi, right? And she likely played a part in the death of a 3rd. So it's going to be interesting. And then I had questions about, this is an uncertain future. So the master shows up. May was supposed to kill Kelnaka, but apparently we are led to believe that whoever killed Kelnaka, there were lightsaber burns across his chest. So I'm not going to say the master did it because we don't know 100%. We aren't 100% sure that it was actually the master who killed Kelnaka. I mean, we just don't know. We can't say for certain, but we're under the assumption right now that it was the master who did it, because it's like, well, May told Qimir what she was going to do. And if Qimir is the master, or the master was somehow following them closely or something, like maybe they ran ahead and did it. We don't know, but we don't have no idea what her fate is going to be now, because it's like either way, still she was supposed to kill Kelnaka. That was what she was supposed to do, and she didn't. And so it's like, what happens with her, with the deal that she made, right? So that's hanging in the air. And then the Jedi are gonna, what are they gonna do? Of course, Master Soul just wants to capture her peacefully and bring her in, right? But what will the Jedi do that, what about Master Vernestra Rowe, right? She wants to silence this whole thing. She doesn't want it to escalate and reach the Senate and other people find out, right? She keeps talking about, what if our enemies find out? And I'm like, who are your enemies, right? I don't know, but it's like, who do y'all not want to know what's going on? Besides, we don't want to alert the High Council because they have to tell the Senate, and if the Senate finds out, then our enemies will find out. So it already sounds like there's some issues with the Republic and these bureaucrats and information leaking, right? So there's May, getting back to May, her future is like up in, we don't know. It's crazy. All right, so let's talk about Master Soul. So Soul's got secrets. He says, when we capture May peacefully and we get back to the ship, I'm going to tell you guys everything. And he's like, there's a truth about what happened on Brendok that's still being hidden. And it's like, well, you've been holding on to this truth. Who are you protecting? Are you protecting the Jedi? Are you protecting Osha? Or are you protecting yourself? Was it something that you did? So that's a question that we're gonna have to hold until we get the full picture. Now, there's some unanswered questions from the episode I want to address. One of the questions that came up was Kelnaka. What happened to Kelnaka on Brendok? Because all throughout his house there are etchings and drawings of symbols from the witches' coven. So did the witches possess him? Did they do something to him, or is he feeling guilt? Right? What happened to him that basically drove him into becoming a hermit and going and being in seclusion? And everywhere you look, there's drawings of these yin yang looking symbols that of the witches' tattoos. The coven's end, right? We're still unclear about what happened, especially after what Master Soul says about wanting to tell Osha the truth after they finish this mission to get May, right? So what really happened? And again, like, did anybody survive besides just May? There's still questions about the Jedi and what their presence was there on Brendok. Like, it seems like everything here stems from the events on Brendok, and it makes me wonder if the Master is also tied to those events, which, like I said, some people feel like the Master might be Mother Coral or Mother Aniseya. So, that's interesting. All right, let's get back to the big overall themes and how they continue to grow and expand. All right, so again, we talked about family and betrayal. So the core conflict revolves around the fractured relationship between Osha and May. It's fueled by loss, fear, and resentment. Mother Aniseya's fate and Soul's actions also highlight the complexities of familial bonds, right? So we don't know what happened with Mother Aniseya. They showed her dead. They showed her body. I'm under the assumption that she died, but some people believe that she might be the Master. She might be the Master's master. She might still be alive, right? And then of course there's Soul's actions. So Soul is been harboring some secret, right? And is him being kind of a father figure to Osha, and Aniseya being kind of this mother figure to Osha and May. The fact that they had a conflict as well, right? Well, Aniseya not so much. It was more Mother Coral had an issue with the Jedi, right? But still, there's a conflict between the witches and the Jedi, and then you could say the mothers of the girls, of the twins, and Soul, who's kind of this fatherly figure who really appears to also have some kind of feelings towards May, not as strongly as he does for Osha, right? So and if Soul is holding a secret, then there might be feelings of betrayal within the family, as far as Soul being kind of Jedi daddy. There could be a feeling of betrayal between him and Osha, right? And May, maybe. So that's something we'll have to look for. Now there's power and control, right? So the witch's unique force tradition clashed with the Jedi's established ways. The quest for power is evident in the Coven's ascension ritual, the Jedi's arrival on Brendok, and the Master's motivations. So remember what Mother Aniseya said. She said this is about power and who has the right to use it, right? So the Master is talking about, an acolyte can kill the dream, right? Can kill a Jedi without a weapon. The way you do that is to kill the dream, right? I'm thinking the dream is the Jedi's ideals, right? And one way you can kill a Jedi without a weapon is to cause them to turn, to cause them to fall, to cause them to lose faith in the Jedi Order, in the Jedi's creed, right? That's I mean, that's literally how you kill a Jedi without a weapon is, you get them to turn or get them to fall to the dark side, I guess, or to just, maybe walk away from the order, right? To lose faith in what the Jedi stand for, right? So I see there's these groups, people, other ways of knowing the Force. This is things I've been talking about on this channel for years, right? That I say, oh, we're going to get into other ways of knowing the Force, other ways of knowing the Force. Well, now we're in the past and there's other ways of knowing the Force. And it seems like the Jedi are out there like, no, right? They're trying to stamp that out, right? And so it's like I said, there's power and there's control. Everyone wants power, but who has the right to use it? Who has the right to pursue it, right? Who's in control of who uses that power, who accesses that power, who learns about that power, right? In Republic space, you can't train a child in the Force. Only the Jedi can do that, right? So we've seen it already, right? So, it is what it is. So then there's secrets and deception. Both the Jedi and the witches harbor secrets about the past and their true intentions. Sol withheld information about Brendok, and the Jedi's arrival there seemed suspicious, and the Master's identity also remained shrouded, right? So secrets and deception. There's secrets all around. The Jedi got secrets. The Master has secrets. The witches have secrets, right? Destiny and choice. Osha's desire to choose her path clashes with the Coven's expectations of the Jedi's recruitment efforts. May's choices are driven by anger and fear, leaving her future uncertain, right? So everyone has their destiny, right? But like I said earlier about, manipulation and coercion, is kind of like everyone is being manipulated into making these choices by external factors. And it's like, if those things weren't there, would they have still made the choices that they made? I mean, we can't change that because we can't change the story. We can't change what happened. Just like in real life, you can't change, the things that led to your circumstances. You just have to roll with the punches, right? And so it'll be interesting to see how they choose and what they decide to do once they know the truth about, everything, right? Now, the recurring questions, these are questions that we still are going to have to wrestle with as this story unfolds. What really happened on Brendok? There's the fire, the Coven's demise, and the Jedi's motives, everything shrouded in mystery. Sol's incomplete story and the fate of Mother Coral suggests that there's more to the event. Now, the fate of Mother Coral, like I said in some other videos, I think she might have survived. I don't know for sure. I don't know if May's the only survivor, but if there's anyone, if you told me right now that, May wasn't the only survivor, I would say, I think Mother Coral also survived. We don't know, but still the point is we don't really know what happened on Brendok. Maybe when we get the full story, maybe Mother Coral got killed. I'm tell y'all why in a minute. All right, the other question, who is the Master? Who's the Master, Leroy? Who's the Master? Master show enough. All right, but their identity and their motives, everything is pointing to Qimir as the central looming threat. And then what is the Master? Are they a Sith Lord? Are they like a junior Sith? Are they like an apprentice to an apprentice? Or maybe they're not Sith at all, which I'm really, you know what? Let me hold off on what I was about to say. Next question, what's the significance of the Coven's tattoos, right? So we saw that stuff all over Kilnaka's little, I started to say cave, but it looks like his house was made from his little Jedi cruiser, right? So I'm just saying his domicile, all over the furniture, all over the walls, is scratched, drawn everywhere, right? What's the significance of those tattoos, right? And then what is the truth about May's survival? How did she survive? And what has she been doing since then, right? Because that is that's going to be important for understanding May's journey, right? And possibly where she's been, and where she going. I mean, maybe we need to get a good look at May's shoes so we can figure out where she's been and where she's going. And then, of course, what is Osha's true potential, right? So, people are they a dyad, or they're the twins, or they disrupt the prophecy and they're ruining canon. We don't even know the significance and the importance of these girls for people to be saying all of this stuff. Osha right now, she's reestablishing her connection with the Force, but she's got conflicted emotions. She's starting to bond with some members of the Jedi Order. So there's a lot of questions about where is Osha going in the future? What's her potential, right? So, there's the truth about May's past and Osha's future. And that kind of makes me think of either if both of them are going to survive this. And I'm hearing talk about there's already plans for season 2. But is it going to be just Osha or just May, or, maybe they do the Piccolo thing and merge and combine into one being that's twice as powerful? I don't know. So that'll be an interesting thing. Now, the speculations. This is da. All right, so let's talk about the Master's identity and the Jedi's involvement, and these are things that we're going to have to be looking for in the next episode. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. All right, so the Master's identity. I've been saying this, like I just feel like the Master is Qimir. I said it's everybody's like, well, that would be a huge letdown, a huge disappointment if it comes out that it's Qimir. I guarantee you, these rage bait, monetized hate Star Wars, so-called Star Wars and geek culture channels are gonna say this is so lame, it's the biggest letdown. Listen to your cousin Acolyte, listen to Cuz Acolyte, or if you're young, listen to Uncle Acolyte, right? Little brother, big brother Acolyte, whatever y'all call me. In Wuxia, there's always more than one villain. There's like kind of the minor, like a video, there's like the minor boss that everybody's focused on. Oh, we took them down. Oh, we know we captured them. And then it's like, oh, yeah, like you have a bad guy and you're focused on, oh, this person has ruined the world and this is who we got to stop. And then it's like, oh, well, they get captured, or we find something out. Oh, but it's somebody else who's actually pulling the strings. So Qimir being the Master would not be this big letdown. There would be more questions around that, but I don't think that Qimir is a Sith. Yeah, he has a red bladed lightsaber, but I mean, they're calling him Smilo Ren. He actually looks like a reject, like Jedi Killer design, which the Jedi Killer became Kylo Ren. I think it's funny to call him Smilo Ren, and it's like, yo, well, maybe his design actually came from a thrown out Kylo Ren design. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, oh, what if he really is one of the Knights of Ren, right? Because the Knights of Ren are supposed to be this old order that existed in the unknown regions. And then the Knights of Ren that were in the sequel saga, they were like the new, we're bringing them back, right? We're marauders and we're back. And I'm just saying that because the Knights of Ren, they were also a dark side group. They kind of feared the Sith, the ones, in the sequel saga. Apparently, Kira tried to recruit the Knights of Ren to help her get rid of Palpatine and Vader, during the original trilogy, right? So they're trying to flesh them out and not just make them cannon fodder for Ben Solo to beat the crap out of in The Rise of Skywalker. But I just think it's possible that there are other dark side Force users, maybe not even dark. Well, I'm gonna stick with that. I was gonna say maybe not even dark side. The way we understand the dark side, maybe they aren't that, but they clearly, aren't fans of the Jedi. I think that what the Master is doing is going to bring the Sith out, right? Like the Sith are like, oh, like I think the Sith are still, I don't think the Master's a Sith. I think the Sith are still out there. This is going to kind of alert them that, hey, like there's people trying to lay claim to what we are, what we do. Saul, oh, what about Darth Plagueis and Tenebrous? And they could still be out there doing exactly what everybody thought they were doing at this time. If they were the two, Tenebrous and Plagueis, and they aren't impacted, they would more be observing and watching from the shadows, and they do what they do. But the other thought is, like I said, there's always more than one villain in Wuxia. There's always somebody pulling the strings, and the bad guys that you see initially they're like nothing compared to what's really coming. I think that the Master and all of this is tied to whatever happened with the Jedi on Brendok. Something definitely happened, and we've seen shots of another point of view, the not Osha point of view, where it looked like Kelnaka. I think Kelnaka, the witches did something to Kelnaka. I think the Jedi showed up to get Osha, and the witches were like, yo, man, we ain't having it. No, like maybe Mother Coral led the witches against the Jedi. A fight broke out. Maybe they took possession of Kelnaka, and that's why he's drawing witch images and stuff, the stuff from the thread view of the Force all over wherever like that. They left some lasting impact on him. Something happened to him, and Soul and Torben and maybe Indara, they fought him. I don't, maybe they possessed him and he attacked the Jedi, but there was a fight. They fought, and I think the Jedi fight is what caused the explosion. It killed everybody. Now, how did it kill the witches and not the Jedi? I don't know. What was Indara's involvement? I don't know, but there's a lot of people that think that Indara is actually not dead and that she's the one, the Master's master, or she's dirty, right? Darth Trinity, like I said when I saw the trailer. They think Darth Trinity's a thing. Now that's something I don't know. I don't know if Indara was involved and if she faked her death or she's not really dead or what. She seemed to be looking for something on Brendok. If she was the one leading that group, she went to Brendok for a reason. And I don't believe, when we thought the planet was uninhabited, maybe they really went there to do something else, and it just happened to be that, the witches were there and all of this happened. So then if that's the case, then why were they really there? And Indara was the one in charge. So that's, like I said, this is a mystery. That's, something you just gotta hold with you. We gotta wait until we get all the pieces of the puzzle, baby. But I don't know. Have I said anything new here? Like, if I, like giving you guys anything to think about? I don't know. But those are my thoughts on what we've seen so far. I apologize that it took me so long to get this video out to you guys. I had to work on my other channel, and then I needed a day to recover because I was up very late working on videos and editing and all that other stuff. So I will try to get the next video on the next episode out much sooner. I don't know if I'm going to stick to Sundays because it seems like a little bit too late. I'd really like to do Fridays, but I don't know what works for you guys. But anyway, hey, I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, even suggestions. Are you excited for the next episode and to see what plays out with the Jedi and the Master? Let me know your thoughts, concerns in the comments below, and I'll be checking back to see what you all have to say. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you go ahead, click that subscribe button, and join the cool community, the cool Star Wars fans on YouTube. But that's all I got. So y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you always.